Well, I don't know. We've been talking how long now? We've been talking 14 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and make my final thought so we can wrap it up around 15, 16 minutes. But my final thought is that we don't need to really be paying attention to these presidents. We really don't need to be paying attention to none of that stuff because right now they're all out of line. The second that they went to the paper currency, they violated the Constitution at that moment, and they've all walked away from their oaths of office, and then they've passed this violated style of government to their children, and their children is taking it and trying to make sense out of it. And it's only going to violate more violations, and more violations are going to become more violated. And it's not going to ever add up to any sense because anything started from a fraudulent point of view or perspective remains in a fraudulent point of view or perspective, and you can't change that. And these presidents are going to do this dance, and this Federal Reserve note is going to constantly be printed, and these documents are going to constantly contradict the Constitution, as the Constitution constantly holds that gold and silver coin is the only legal tender to be used as a payment for debt. So if somebody owes you some money and they haven't gave you gold and silver coin, you've never been lawfully satisfied of the debt that you've accrued with them. So until you get gold and silver coin for any debt accrued, you have not even been satisfied yet. No, you've received nothing. That plays out on mortgages. That plays out on car loans. It plays out on paychecks at a job. And until people realize that the math equation that I just laid out and the situation and scenario that I just showed contradicts any conversation that a president or any television newscaster, movies release, Hollywood scenario, any of that stuff, which we know it's backed by the military. Any of that stuff put out. Only pull myself up by the bootstraps. Merry times getting the best of me. Time getting wasted, can't get that time back. It's always going to be trash because it could never be anything but trash because it was created on a fiction. There is no such thing as gold is at $4,200 an ounce, but it takes $4,200 of Federal Reserve note money in order to get the ounce of gold. But the ounce of gold is the $20 coin. And if the ounce of gold is the $20 coin, and it takes 4,200 Federal Reserve notes to get the $20 coin, and the Constitution only allows gold and silver coin to be used as a legal tender in the payment of debts, and these unconstitutional people are handing you 4,200 Federal Reserve notes for 1 ounce of gold, which represents the $20 bill, then that lets you know how fooled you are. You're getting less than pennies whenever you're getting $1. It takes 100 pennies to make $1. And if it takes 4,000 Federal Reserve notes to make $20, then them things is less than pennies. How many pennies is in $20, fella? We done all took bad advice from our family. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And if you ever had a real dime, it's damn near. Let me tell you. 20 divided by what? Well, let's just find out how many pennies. There's 100 pennies in a dollar. It says 100 pennies in a dollar. Then there's 1,000 pennies in $10. There's 2,000 pennies. 2,000 pennies. Well, they're half pennies. 100 pennies. So, what we say? So, if it's I just did the math. It was 100 pennies is in a dollar. 1,000 pennies in $10. 2,000 pennies in $20. So that would make the Federal Reserve note right now at this moment a half a cent. So it's under a penny. It takes 2 Federal Reserve notes to make a penny right now. Two Federal Reserve notes makes a penny. 100 Federal Reserve notes makes 50 cents. 200 Federal Reserve notes makes $1 right now. This is at the gold price. If you do it at silver, it's a little bit different because for some reason silver and gold ain't matching because they're manipulating the numbers. That's your evidence that they're manipulating the numbers. Because right now silver's at $48 an ounce. And an ounce of silver is a $1 bill. So you got to multiply it at 48 in that scenario when you're dealing with silver. The other one, what we just said we multiplied it by? Something like that. I mean, just the math equation is off, basically what I'm saying. Everybody out there doing their calculators or whatever, you can pull it up and see the math is what I just laid it out. Plain English. You can redo the research because just go to gold price on punch in gold price on a Google search, and when you see goldprice.com or whatever, click on it, it's going to come up right there on the page. You ain't even got to click on the website. It's going to come up on the search. It's going to show you what the gold price is on that page. On their thumbnail or whatever you want to call it. So that's basically all I got to say is so don't fall for the okie doke because an unconstitutional government is actually a corporation. The Supreme Court said that the United States is not a government right now because they're insolvent. They don't have money. They're in debt. And since they're using paper currency for money, since they don't have none, they're using paper currency instead, and it's a commercial venue only because they're only dancing with these paper dollars because nobody's actually obligated to anything right now. And if you are obligated to it, then it will fall under slavery because you would be getting paid nothing, or you'll be getting paid a half a penny. And it would be represented like as if you were getting $1, you would be getting food. You would be getting slave wages. So if somebody say you're getting, say, let's do it at $10 an hour, the new minimum wage or whatever that they just changed for some states or for some federal employees. It's like 9 something, so I'm around to 10. But let's say at $10 an hour. If 50 cents, if it takes 2 pennies to make, if it takes 2 Federal Reserve notes to make a penny, then $20 we already said would be alright, let's do it at the dime first. And at 20 cents first. So if you got two Federal Reserve notes to make a penny, another 2 Federal Reserve notes makes another penny. So that's 4 Federal Reserve notes for 2 pennies. So 8 Federal Reserve notes will make 4 pennies. So 10 Federal Reserve notes is a nickel. So if you're getting $10 an hour, you're getting a nickel an hour. And if you're getting 20, you're getting 10 cents an hour. If you're getting $40, you're getting 40 cents an hour. Or whatever. I might have just got off, but I think I might have was on. But at the same time, I would do certain things. But you felt the ratio, I just hit it with $10 is fit right now in America. $10 is a nickel. I can go get a nickel's worth of silver or gold right now, 5 cents worth. They would have to give it to me in copper, pennies. Instead of telling these people that they getting paid 5 cents per $10 an hour, they telling these people they getting $10 an hour and lying to them whenever they know damn well that dollar means an ounce of silver. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And if you done got a real dime, it's damn near 100 years old. Them bitches is lying and they scared of they old. Trees in this chess season, lost pieces, lost hope. Contracts get breached when yeah, that's too much. So that's my final thought. What's yours on what we've talked about? Good time, brother.
No, I really ain't got too much to say.
I mean, we've discussed Charlie Kirk. We discussed how they're using power to consolidate this new young generation into the mindset of I guess the new Nazi class or whatever, because every cartoon I see has got Nazi in it. Every new movie has got Nazi in it. I guess they're getting ready to create a new Nazi class. That's what I see. The new bigots of the future, you know what I mean? And at least a new class of them. And then a lot of people can see through it because they've already got relationships with, you know, the real Amaroukans of, you know, these lands. And so they're already intertwined either through blood or through, you know, with business relationships or however, friendship. And, you know, so with that said, you know, they're probably looking at it more at a standpoint of, you know, the types of stuff that a Nazi movement would take in order to truly take hold. Maybe fought with a bigger resistance than what could be imagined, because I don't think anybody ever imagined Nazism happen over here, you know what I mean? And if you look at the Constitution, it's a liberal contract, so it's a liberal document, trust document. Beneficiaries is Americans, the true Amaroukans. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And if you done got a real dime, the Americans, however you say it. But you know, it's still, you know, a situation where we gotta start taking this shit to we understand. I mean, after that right there, what do you think about that, though? mean, after all we've discussed.
Time getting wasted, can't get that time back. Mary, time getting the best of me. Looked at it like that, cause I only pull myself up by the bootstraps. Mary, time's got the best of me. Time getting wasted, can't get that time back. Mary, time's getting the best of me. Never looked at it like that. I only pull myself up by the bootstraps. You feel me? I mean, you know how sometimes it be. We done all took bad advice from our family. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And if you ever had a real dime, it's damn near 100 years old. Illegal IDs are just like on-land passports. America becomes foreign to what their constitution quotes. Forced trade with no currency. The currency we got is a poor man's dollar, but money it is not. Mary, time's got the best of me. Time getting wasted, can't get that time back. Mary, time's getting the best of me. Only pull myself up by the bootstraps. Mary, time's getting the best of me.